Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Lord. Matt Olson recently appeared on an episode of Pardon My Take from Barstool Sports, and he was a fantastic interview. If you haven't listened to it, even if you don't listen to Pardon My Take, if you're a Braves fan, very good listen. He had a lot of interesting things to say. We're going to break it down over several segments. We're going to start off with this thing about Freddie Freeman, because obviously everyone knows there's been animosity between the fan base. You know, there's Team Freddie. It's like Jake. What's the Twilight? It's like Jacob and Edward. It's like you got like the two characters.
Oh, it's just you. It's just you.
Yeah. No, it's not. There's literally
there are some people.
There's not some. There's half the fan base. There's half the fan base.
I don't know, man.
It definitely is.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. Yeah.
Ever since I saw that picture of Matt Olson in Sanford Stadium with the UGA polo on, I knew he was my guy. But anyways, continue.
If he shows up in Tiger Stadium with the LSU polo, I will never mention Freddie Freeman's. It'll be like Voldemort's name. I will not say his name. And I will.
We're getting a lot of. I will teen literature references in this episode.
I will burn my picture. I will burn my picture outside of Truist Park. If that happens. Okay. But let's get into it. So Matt Olson, had these comments, the animosity or whatever, he's replacing this Hall of Famer. There's people pissed off. Whether they're still pissed off, probably not as much now because he's hotter than Hades. But people were pissed off originally. And there's a tough welcome. Freddie Freeman homecoming. He's getting standing ovations. Like, do they love me more, or do they still love this guy? Like, whatever. This whole thing's happening. And I thought he just responded perfectly. He was like, dude, this guy is a Hall of Famer. He won a World Series. He won an MVP. He's one of the best first basemen to ever play the game. Like, great fans should appreciate them. And I hope they appreciate me someday is basically kind of the general thing. And I thought he handled it super well. I mean, Freddie Freeman was a guy for this team. And if I'm going to be a guy for this team, they're going to love me like that. That's kind of what he said. And I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought his. So first of all, like Chase said, if you haven't listened to it, you should listen to it. Matt Olson, very funny guy, super personable. It's one of those when you listen to it, like you will like him more. He's definitely seems like a very guy's guy. I love the comments he made too about the clubhouse too. Like they were asking, they were like, "Do you get more buttoned up around the postseason?" He's like, "Absolutely not." He was like, "What you see is what you get with Ozzy, Orlando Arcia, and Ronald." He's like, "If I went into there." If I went into the clubhouse tomorrow and I told Ozzy, hey, you need to straighten up, it's time to get serious, he would laugh in my face. Hey, he gives a lot of great insight of the clubhouse and everything. But yeah, when he was talking about Freddie, he was talking about how he grew up a Braves fan, and he was like, yeah, obviously, I wasn't really a Braves fan anymore because I'm in the league, but he was like, I would have felt the exact same way. He just had a lot of good perspective on it. I love the guy, and I like to do more after hearing everything he had to say about everything.
I think, yeah, obviously, in my experience, I think most Braves fans are all over on the Matt Olson trade. Apparently, I guess Chase's Twitter feed is different than mine. But if you don't like him, this will make
find someone to agree.
This will make you like him. He's just so funny. He's a chirper. He chirps at the boys. He said when they were handing out the World Series rings, the fan replica rings, that he went and grabbed one and wore it around the clubhouse and was expecting to somebody to say something. And he was like, hey, well, I got one. And nobody said anything. And he's like, they're just good guys. I expected, to have some sort of oh, you weren't with us, to win the World Series thing. But he's like, no, it's been none of that. That's just who he is. And he said the perfect thing about the fan base, where he said, I wouldn't have wanted the fans just to kick Freddie to the curb. I want them to be good fans. Good fans, support when it's down, when it's good, when it's bad. It's kind of like a marriage, through hard times, through trials, tribulations. And I think that, speaks to what Braves country is. It's one of the best fan bases across any sport, ride or die for Freddie. And now, it's slowly but surely coming ride or die for Matt Olson. I mean, he's top 5 MVP candidate. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a, situation where a team replaced a Hall of Famer with this good of a player, where they lost.
No, that was one of the tweets I saw where somebody was it was this is why I hate the Braves. It was they lose this guy, they just replace him with a 50 home run bat.
You'd be hard pressed.
He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's just becoming too perfect to hate the more you know him. It's just he hits 50 bombs. He's a top 5 MVP candidate. He's good looking. He's cool.
He's
just
funny.
Like, dude,
yeah.
It's like, where is the, hey, where, like, you can't, like, every person has something wrong with them. Like, what's wrong with you, Matt? Like, what are you hiding? Like,
and he's natural. No cosmetic surgery.
Yeah. Do you kill children like behind closed doors? Like something's off here. Like, you're too perfect, man.
He's the kind of guy that you just dislike because he's so likable, where like he's just got everything going for him.
Yeah. I mean, the way he even like talks about the league so casually, it's just like, I'm in the league. Like, I'm just dropping 50 bombs. Like, I'm just doing whatever. You know? Yeah, he's perfect. Listen, I've never disliked Matt Olson. It's always been I never disliked Matt Olson. Never disliked Matt Olson. He's a good guy. He's a great
tweets
baseball
from
player.
last season would say otherwise.
Well, I thought he wasn't good last season.
Like an 850, 870 OPS.
Nah, he had he was a scrub. Hey, we're gonna continue this conversation. He had some good comments about Frank the Tank and Sal Licata.